Another pod.
Starts blowing my mind.
Are you insane?
You really are crazy.
Help! My pussy's gone crazy!
We the Breast Podcast.
What's up, guys? I'm Erika. And I'm Amanda.
And you're listening to Insanity Fair.
Right.
So in your life, do you feel like you're main character?
Yes.
Like, do you feel like you could just have that main character energy, or how do you feel?
So I'm like fucking full of myself. So I think that the whole world evolves around me. Revolves and evolves around me. It evolves because it's around me. Because I am the sun, the moon, and everything in between. I'm so fucking full of myself. It's a problem. I have to constantly stop myself and be like, okay, Amanda, you got to think about other people because these people matter too. They think they're main characters. They're not, but they think they are. So just let them be.
Yeah. I think that I'm that side character that everybody wishes was a main character. It's like, man, I want to know more about that person.
So like when you have like spin-offs of like, let's say we got like Star Wars and then there's The Mandalorian.
Yes.
And everybody loves The Mandalorian.
Yes.
It's like, just make that its own thing.
Yeah.
Well, and it is its own thing, but you know what I mean.
But I don't think I'm like a main character type person. Like I'd rather like glorify the main character that I'm a part of. So like, for example, when I'm around you, I'll extend like your main characterness and stuff, but people still love me.
And think you're absolutely nice and you're not that nice. Keep trying to tell everybody that, but they don't listen. They don't believe me.
Maybe they'll finally find out with this podcast. Little by little, like I'm starting off really nice in like the first few episodes. And then like towards the end, it's like, damn.
Do you think that Nick thinks he's the main character? Like if you were to ask him?
Yes.
He'd be like, I'm the main character.
I think he's changed throughout the years. I think when we first met, he was definitely main character type energy. I think he's still main character type energy, but I don't think he views himself as that.
Yeah. So with Marcos and I, it's weird. It's a weird dynamic because we both think that we're main characters. So I literally talk shit to him all the time. Like, I'm like, shut up. You're not even the main character. Go away. Like, and like, he thinks the same thing, you know, like I'm just like his side character, you know? Yeah. It's a constant power struggle in our relationship of who's more interesting and who people fuck with the most.
And see, I'll kind of like bend to people, like especially like Nick, for example. Like if it's like, oh yeah, let's do this, and he's like, I kind of want to do this. I'm like, okay.
I could see that. That's true. Because I was gonna say, I was like, you're pretty free when you're with me, but I think that's because like I bring that energy, and I'm just like, do whatever the fuck you want.
I'm like, you know what? You're fucking
you're
right.
Like, you're right. I am gonna do what I
am gonna eat that whole box of cookies.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know who has the biggest main character energy?
Who?
Pets.
Definitely. I think, yeah. Definitely.
Like, what do you mean? Like your life revolves around me.
That's Pablo.
Yeah.
He thinks everything's his. He thinks we're just here for his pure entertainment.
Oh yeah.
And like he like loves us and stuff, right? But it's like, you're mine.
Oh yeah. Well, dude, even whenever you would go out of town and I would come over here to like be with Pablo, as soon as he would hear that door, I would hear
it's like, well, hello. I'm here.
I've blessed you with my presence. It's like, I came to check on you.
Right.
He's like, no, I think you're not understanding.
Oh my gosh, you're so obsessed with me.
You just couldn't stay away.
You're always fucking looking at me. Who is the main, like, who would be the main character, like, with your dogs?
Oh my gosh, Bailey.
I'd see that.
Like, Athena is also side character energy. And she's like, oh yeah, like, that's cool. Like, she would be that, if she was a person, Athena would be that person in, like, Lilo and Stitch whenever the ginger girl was being mean to Lilo. And the girls in the background are like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's Athena.
I do get that from her. She's like, definitely people pleaser. And Bailey's like, who the fuck are you?
Oh, yeah. Bailey's like, I said I'm hungry 2 minutes ago. and your ass is still sitting on the toilet. And it's like, dude, but I had to pee. She's like, yeah, I don't care. Go get me some food.
I think strangely, Creamy's still kind of main character too.
Yeah.
She's kind of, I don't know. That bitch got anxiety though, but I could have anxiety too.
Yeah. Which is funny because Bailey actually is the one with anxiety.
Is she?
Yeah. But Athena, like, I don't know, dude. I don't know if Athena's smart or if she's dumb. Because like whenever she has her leash on and everything, and the leash gets under her arm, she knows to lift it and she'll hold her paw lifted up until you fix it. And Bailey won't do that.
Okay.
But I also think Bailey does that because she's just like, if you want to fix it, you can fix it.
Yeah, she just like doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, Bailey knows how to play and Athena doesn't really know how to do it. Like she tries. She's not good at it.
What do you mean play?
So Bailey will be on the bed and stuff. And she likes whenever we like put our hands under the blanket and kind of move them around and everything. And she'll like chase after our hands. Athena doesn't understand that concept. She'll like get on the bed and she starts like growling and stuff as though she wants to play, but she always messes up the game. Like Bailey will end up just stopping and looking at her like, are you going to do this right? Or what are we going to do about this? Because you're not playing.
So she's that one person that just comes in and just ruins it.
Fucks it up.
Fucks it up.
Yeah.
When you used to play with like your cousins and like your family and stuff growing up, was there ever like a young one, like the young one that you kind of just like made do everything?
I was the young one.
You were. I feel so
Dude,
sorry.
all of my
for
cousins
you.
were older than me. So my two older sisters got to like be that buddy with them and all of that. And I don't think they ever like picked on me in a way, but I was always happy to do it because I was the young one and I was just involved. You know?
You're like, they're letting me in the group.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
I've made it.
Did I ever tell you the story of when my sister pushed me down the stairs?
What the fuck? No, definitely not.
Mary, this is for you.
I would have guessed that one.
Yeah. So we used to have bunk beds and Mary put my head between like the stairs of the bunk bed because it was like metal stairs that went up to it. And she said, you're going to go get me a Coke right now. And I hadn't even said no or anything. Like she just put my head through it for intimidation reasons, I guess. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. And so I'm walking like towards the stairs and she pushes me down the stairs as I'm going to get her a Coke.
Oh my God. I don't think that's normal. I don't know about that.
She was crazy, dude.
How old was she?
I don't even know how old I was. I just know I was really young. Like I had to have been like 5.
So if you could have guessed like your age compared to hers, like how old do you think she was?
She was probably about 12.
Are you sure she's not like a serial killer? She wasn't cutting up animals or anything?
Dude, she was intense, but she was that kid that like there's a story about how the teachers were really worried about her whenever she was little because she would go to school with like bruises and whatnot. So they actually,
I remember you talking about this.
Yes, they called someone to go do like a home visit. And they get there, her mom like answers the door and she's like, oh yeah, like, I'm sorry, like, come on in. And while they're there, Mary is like running around the house all crazy. And she like runs into a door and like hits her head and falls, just stands back up, starts running again. And they had one of those, like kid jungle gym type deals that you have
those
like
plastic ones.
Yes, that has like a little
inside,
slide. Yeah. And she like runs up the little stair for that. And she just jumps up and like belly flops onto the floor, gets back up and starts running around again. And apparently the lady that went to go check on them was like, oh, I see what's going on. Obviously it's no neglect. I'll just let you guys enjoy your day.
And then she walks out. Your dad closes the door and he's like, listen here, you little shit. Don't you ever fucking do that to me again.
Well, my 2 older sisters have a different mom. So the parents were separated because I was already born. Oh, wait, no, I wasn't born at that point. But they weren't together at that point.
Oh, okay. So this is like the going to their mom's
Yeah.
house.
They went to go check on
Got it.
them at their mom's.
So their mom closed the door
Yeah.
and was like, go get the fucking belt. You're never going to embarrass me like that ever again.
This is the 3rd time.
Man, I'm going to start hiding these bruises a little bit better.
I feel like that's worse though, no?
What?
hiding the bruises. Like you send your kid in summer like with a long sleeve shirt because they're all bruised
that's
up.
why you just gotta like smack them where you don't see it.
No, I'm saying because she already had bruises. I mean,
okay, makeup.
what's one more?
Yeah, put makeup on it. Oh, be creative. So I wasn't the youngest one in my family, but when we get together with all my cousins, I had a couple of cousins that lived in Phoenix, and sometimes we would go up and visit them, and they always had like a beautiful house, land. So we'd go run outside and shit. And we were all around the same age, but our cousin Aaron was the youngest one. He was like several years. The one that I told you about had that heartfelt moment with us. So this motherfucker, he was born a preemie. He had to have open heart surgery when he was really young, had really bad asthma. He was like on nebulizer treatments. Like I think he had to do it twice a day. So not just the inhaler, like he had to be on actual treatments daily because he had bad asthma.
How old is he now?
He is, dude. I mean, I know he's over 21.
So he's older though.
Yeah, he's older now, but I want to say he's probably like maybe like 4 or 5 years younger, or 3 to 5 years younger than me.
Okay.
But he was the baby. So of course he was like left out a lot, but we would let him play with us sometimes, like we were playing tag and shit, but we made him be it. So he's this motherfucker, like his heart ain't working right. His fucking asthma like a motherfucker. And like he was always like a little bit like chubbier of a kid too. Aww. And we're just like, okay, you're it though. We're all running, sprinting. And he's like, like, I'm gonna get you. And we're laughing like, you fucking loser.
He never caught y'all?
No, he never caught us. But he was always the monster. He was always it.
Oh,
it was him all the time. Yeah, it was fucked up.
Well, see, I have a little sister, Jessica.
Yeah.
But she's only 3 years younger than me. But for some reason, I was the chosen one. I was the one. Hey, Erika, can you go get this? Hey, Erika, can you go do that?
Damn.
Because Jessica was like the baby of the family.
She couldn't do anything. Also, she was like really young.
Well, I'm saying like even when I was 8 and she's 5. So technically you could be like, go get me a Coke. They'd still choose me.
So she was like the Messiah. And they're just like,
yeah,
don't worry.
Oh, but she's a baby. No.
Damn, that sucks for you.
Yeah.
I was like basically raised an only child for so long because, my family, you already know my family dynamics. It's a little fucked up. So I didn't grow up with my brother, my half brother. You guys can just imagine what happened there. But I was an only child for like 15 years until Leilani was born. And I was already older, so I didn't really have that, like, I guess that sibling experience. But what I will say is that, I mean, you've seen me around her.
Yeah.
Even though we're so far apart, like we still have like that sister relationship. Oh, yeah. Like I still fight with her. Like I'd like
y'all's dynamic is awesome. Like
it's weird.
It's just like sisters. Like
I almost straight up got into like a real like physical fight with her. I'm like fucking 28 years old fighting my 12-year-old sister.
Stories you've told me is whenever you put on her jumpsuit or like her, was it the pink?
And she literally ripped it off my body. That was rude.
That for me.
Yeah, we have video of that. We have evidence of her being a monster. My mom likes to tell everybody like, yeah, I have my 2 girls, but the older one, she's probably the more immature one. And I'm like, that's nuh-uh. It's not true. Look at her mom. She's looking at me weird. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's weird. Should we freestyle? Keep doing that and maybe I can do like a... I don't think it works.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Did I tell you I want to get my nipples pierced?
A while ago.
So I had changed my mind, right? Because I had read like how long of a healing time it is and all that shit scared the shit out of me. And I fucking hate needles. But I was just in El Paso and my cousin Jenna showed me her nipple piercing and I was like asking her about her experience. So she said she's kept it real clean and shit. And
I would hope so.
Well, I mean, some bitches are nasty, you know, like they don't be cleaning their shit. And she said that because she keeps it real clean, that she's like 9 months in and it's already almost healed up, and that like it doesn't get snagged really as long as she like wears a bra, and that it is a little bit sensitive at first. But overall, she's had a pretty good experience. And
How do you think your experience will be considering you don't wear bras?
that's what I'm saying. I'm just going to have to, I would have to wear a bra for a year. Could you imagine that?
Well, dude, even after that, though, like, I know you like to wear like bralettes to work and stuff. That's not going to work.
Oh, I don't wear bralettes to work. I wear real bras to work.
Oh, you do?
I wear bralettes sometimes in my normal life. When I feel like putting a bra on, I'm like, bralette.
Well, now you're going to feel less like wearing a bralette.
Why?
You know? So you can like, what's the point of them if you can't?
Well, I mean, you can still see through the
True.
bralette. I mean, you still see my nipples through the bralette. Like
So what's the point of the bralette?
because sometimes I don't like the bottom of my titty, like when I'm like lounging and I'm like
And it touches
scrunched
your
up.
skin?
I don't like it touching my skin.
Yeah.
So it's
I
like I don't
understand that.
mind not wearing a bra because I usually like if I'm wearing like a crop top and stuff, it like kind of like goes into. Could you imagine if I had big old titties? I'd be so annoyed all the time. I'd probably carry around like a sweat titty rag just so I can like wipe it underneath. So
You
it doesn't
wouldn't
feel
have to do that.
sticky.
Like your boob will hold it for you if you have.
Oh
big
yeah, I
enough
just
tits.
like put, I just like get like a panty liner and like put it under my titties just to, because I
That's
don't.
an invention.
Yeah, like fuck, like fund us, like we're gonna make it, and people are gonna fucking buy it because these big. Could you imagine I created that company and I like to have no titties?
Yeah.
Like I'm my shit's ain't holding anything up.
Like, how did you come up with that? So I have a friend.
Yeah, it would have to be that way, or maybe
That is one of the most frustrating things, though, dude. Like under boob sweat, that is the worst.
Yeah, because I only get it. I mean, obviously, like I mean, you know, I'm a very sweaty person. So like I do feel like sweat like a normal person, but it's not like I wouldn't say that there's ever
Drops.
yeah. Like I could imagine what that's like, but it's never really been
A problem.
as much as a problem for me because I ain't got no titty. I
don't
wish
mind,
I had those
I don't mind the
problems.
boob touching the skin.
I'm getting kind of used to it. I've been wearing a bra like less and less lately, like even with my loose shirts. I'm getting kind of used to it. I'm still not 100% a fan, but I just like not feeling restricted. So like I just don't like wearing even bralettes. So I couldn't imagine myself wearing a bra for a year just so I can get a nipple piercing. That would be weird.
But you're leaning towards yes.
I think so. I mean, it's a small price to pay for.
You should do it now. That way it's like healed enough for the summer. That way you can like be swimming and stuff.
I mean, I don't swim as is.
Not really, but when we go, you still get in the water.
Just won't wet my titties. I'm gonna wrap plastic bags around my titties.
Yeah, that's like a cast. How you like put a bag over it.
Everyone's gonna be looking. Everybody
Put
looks at
waterproof
me.
Band-Aids over them.
Everybody looks at me hella weird around these apartments anyway. Like, I'm pretty sure they see me sometimes and are like, I don't know what the fuck this bitch's problem is. You know, sometimes they see me like coming home from work or going to work. I'm all dressed up, all corporate. Sometimes you can catch me checking the mail in my underwear, you know, like hair all fucked up. And,
Yeah.
But I'm wearing shoes, so I'm not like.
And you wear
walking around.
boxers. So they're like boxers.
Yeah.
They look like
Mhm.
shorts.
That's what I'm
So I
saying. you know?
doubt they're even thinking about, oh my gosh, she's wearing her underwear.
Yeah. And then the other day, you know, we walked out looking like a bunch of hoes.
Oh my gosh, dude. When we were walking back from the park and like we were all holding our shoes in our hands and my pantyhose were like tearing.
Yeah.
Nick's walking in front of us.
So just for a little bit of context, if you follow our Instagram, Insanity Fair _ or TikTok, we did a promo of Sexy Ghosts where we had, they're like fishnet stockings. We all had fishnet stockings, heels, and we were just wearing like biker shorts and sports bras underneath. So when we were walking to the park area from my apartment, we obviously didn't have the sheets over our heads because we were like dressed up as like sexy chic ghosts. So when we were walking to and from, we just had the sports bra, booty biker shorts, basically. Fishnet stockings and heels.
Inner heels.
And then we're with 2 grown-ass men. So we just look like a bunch of hoes. And our pimps were...
like taking us out for a picnic or something.
Yeah.
The sun was still up.
Yeah, it was.
The sun was actually setting at that point.
Yeah, it was
right?
setting when we were going to, but when we were going back.
That's the part.
There was like a couple of cars that honked at. One flashed us. Did anybody honk? No, I think they flashed us.
Yeah, they just flashed us.
Yeah, they flashed us. They're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
They're calling the cops. They're like, man, I tell you, this neighborhood is going to shit.
This is Harry Hines all over again.
For real. Yeah, we looked pretty ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. And then we had to go the long way because the sprinklers turned on.
Yeah. My feet hurt so fucking bad.
Oh, my god.
I should have just put the heels back on because we all took our heels off.
I thought about doing that, but I like those shoes and I didn't want to get the insides all nasty.
Yeah.
So for those...
it's like we should have just did it right from the rip. I don't know like why we're just like, oh, you know,
This
what
was
would be
way
easier
better.
if
It
we
wasn't
just
easier.
walk barefoot in fishnet stockings where there's gravel and pebbles and
You were struggling.
I was struggling. I don't like feeling shit on my feet or my hands. I don't know if you've noticed that about me. I get weird. So it was like I wanted to fucking cry. I was like,
And then the sprinklers turned on and you're like, oh, I guess we got to go the long way.
I was like, no. Yeah, that was interesting.
It was. And the mosquito bites afterwards, like my body doesn't do very well with mosquito bites as it is when I get mosquito bites. They get really red. Sometimes it creates like a little blister. And I had like 15 mosquito bites. I'm pretty sure I got bit by a spider. That was fun.
Yeah, I got a lot of mosquito bites too. But I mean, you and Oksana sounded like you got bit by some other shit. Because for me, it was definitely just mosquito bites.
Yeah.
And I'm used to getting bit by shit. So it's just whatever for me.
But you're definitely right. When we got back and you're like, well, are you scratching them? I was like, no. I was definitely scratching them.
You're like, no.
Yeah. I was like a kid.
Stop picking at them.
Stop.
Yeah, it's like I've never been the type of person to like scratch at my shit or like peel my scabs off or anything like that. So I just don't do that on my body. But what I did used to do is I don't like feeling shit on my face. So when I used to have really bad acne, I couldn't help it. I would like scratch them.
Yeah.
Because I was just feeling so like, I don't know how to explain it. Like I just don't like feeling shit on my face. So I'd be like scratching the shit out of them.
Have you ever thought about going to an esthetician?
The fuck is that?
Like someone who specifically is for like skincare?
I mean, my skin's good now.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying back in the day. Because like me, I have like a little bit of like acne scars and stuff. And I'm thinking about going to one.
I mean, I went to a dermatologist, but that did not help until they put me on Accutane twice.
Yeah.
That shit sucked.
Yeah, I don't know. The esthetician I'm thinking of going to, she was telling me that when I start treatments, that I have to be real careful about what I'm eating beforehand because whatever I'm eating and doing to my body beforehand is going to come to the surface. So that's why I haven't gone because I've been eating like crap lately.
So it's like you have to do like a detox almost
practically. Yeah.
You go and like, what is it that they're going to do?
She does actual treatments there is what she was telling me.
Yeah,
like
but
she'll put like the serums on my face. She didn't really give me too much information. Like she was just actually like talking to me. She was like, you know, I'm glad you brought it up to me because it was actually someone from work. And she's like, I was going to actually talk to you about that because I noticed that you have a little bit of acne scars. And she's like, I had that too. And her skin's looking pretty smooth right now. And she said pretty much it would be treatments that I would take home, like serums and whatnots that I would be responsible for doing religiously. But also I'd be going back to her and she would be doing things as well. Now, what those things are, I don't really know. But I know a lot of it has to do just more of like with serums and having a good routine and eating properly. And
probably
all
has
that
like
good
a lot
stuff.
of vitamins and shit like that. I just let my man come on my face, you know, rub it in.
Is that what fixed it?
Let it soak. Yeah, that's actually what it wasn't. The Accutane, guys. Just like let your man come on your face and just like let it sit for like 30 minutes.
It's like a peel mask.
Do not get it in your eye though.
No.
That is not recommended. That shit sucks. Have you ever gotten it in your eye?
No.
You've never gotten jizz in your eye?
Oh my gosh, were you able to even open it back up?
It just got stuck. Bro, I had to use like, you know how they sell those like eye flushes where it's like a little dome and like you put like the solution in it and you put it over your eye and like I had to do that because I was trying to rinse it out with like water and it's thick. Yeah. So it like wouldn't come out. Like, could you imagine having it did not come out. I mean, it came out, but it didn't come out of my eye.
It came on.
Yeah. So, and it hurt so bad. It like, I'm like trying to think of like
was it an instant hurt?
Pain.
Like as soon as you got in your eye, you're like, oh shit.
It was. Oh, like almost like it's not like it burned or anything, but it felt like my whole eyeball just felt like it ached. I don't know if you've ever gotten something in your eye where it physically hurts like all around your orbital like bone and like, and I was just like, I probably, if you looked at me, I looked like a fucking like zombie and shit like dripping down my eye. Like I
put a film over your eye.
Like it's like they were cloudy. They're like, oh my God, you have glaucoma? Like, no, it's just yeah, it was not fun. I don't think I ever got it in my eye after that.
I'd hope not. You learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, I'm like,
after flushing it,
it's been on my eye. I'm gonna close my eyes. So I just look like this now, like put goggles.
You have special goggles just for it.
I was like, okay, I'm ready.
Come at me.
I've got it in my eye. I've gotten it. It's come out my nose. Like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've had really bad experiences with jizz. So I'm just like, it just has to go on the titty now. Yeah. But you have to aim carefully because the titties aren't that big, you know?
Dang.
So they might miss.
Dang.
It's like bullseyes. Have you ever gotten it in very weird places?
I wouldn't say so. I think in all the normal places.
What the fuck am I doing wrong?
I think your man would say what you're doing right.
He just gets so excited that it's just like, ah!
You know what? Maybe you're not the problem. Maybe it's him.
It is him. Maybe he's doing it on purpose. Maybe he just starts. It's like a power trip, you know? Like, yeah, bitch, I'm gonna come in your eye.
Next is your ear. Be careful.
Yeah, the way you were talking to me, like you want to be talking back, having this attitude, bitch. There you go, stupid bitch. I would do that.
Yeah,
I think I would. If I was a dude. I think God knew what he was doing when he made me a female. Mm-hmm. I think I'd be too much if I was a man. Mm-hmm. I'd be way too much. I already think I'm the main character.
Yeah, like we said, huh?
Yeah, could you imagine if I was a man?
Mm-hmm. Amanda.
Oh, it's so funny.
I haven't heard that before.
Like, how do you think you would be if, like, what kind of man do you think you would be if you were a man?
I think I'd be a lot more assertive than I am. Because I think a big part of the way I am is because I'm a woman. Like, you know, like how we talk about, oh, like, are you afraid to go walking in the dark? Are you afraid to go do this? I feel a lot of that plays into who I am as a person. And I think I'd have a lot more confidence and all that if I was a man.
I can see that. It's like, for me, like, I do still have like all those same worries like you. But I have to stop and think about them most of the time because most of the time I just think I'm like unstoppable. Yeah. Like you could totally see me if somebody like fucks with you the wrong way and it's a grown ass man. Like I will like fight them. Yes. And be like, let's go, motherfucker. Like as is now, you know, like I already think I'm a fucking big dog and I'm not. I'm a little puppy.
You're like the chihuahua that barks all crazy.
Yeah. So
I still bite.
So it's like, it's more like those things that like you're concerned about are more like I have to stop and think about it.
You're not just automatically conscious?
Not most of the time. It's like let's say I go out in the dark. I have to like prepare myself like, okay, Amanda,
don't forget.
Yeah, don't forget you're a frail little woman and somebody can totally run up to you and rape and kill you. No, you cannot take them on. You know, like I have to like.
You still want to try.
Yeah. So
well, even the other day, there was a guy outside of our apartments and he was just like pacing, like really weird. And I don't know this person. Like we have a gated area. And normally I feel like, you know, most of the people driving by, walking by, all that stuff. But this guy I don't recognize. And he's just like walking, like stepping on acorns. And I take the dogs out to go potty. And I bring them in right away because he's just gives me bad vibes. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't even take the girls out after that until Nick got home. And that way he can be out there with me because I was worried that he was just standing out there waiting for like a good opportunity. I don't know.
Right. I mean, I guess I get like that when I'm alone. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I work out in my garage and I'm like, I think it's more like sometimes that happens. And because since I'm in like an enclosed area, I don't like feeling like I'm a trapped animal. So if I start seeing cars that are like circling and stuff, I start getting fucking tripped out and start thinking about like my Home Alone plan and like what I'm going to throw at them and shit. So I do get paranoid like that.
But I do also, like you saying, like whenever you see cars driving around and stuff, like I will try and make eye contact with that person because I want them to know, like, not to fuck with me. Like, I see you, sir. Like, I am observant of my surroundings.
Bro, see, I do that too. But I feel like the way like you and I do it probably looks very different. Like,
I don't look like a wounded animal, if that's what you're thinking.
No, that's not what I'm thinking. Like, I go out there and I'm like,
intense stare.
Yeah, and they're like, what the fuck? And they're probably like getting on the phone. Oh my God, I'm scared. This girl just keeps fucking staring at me.
Have you seen there's like reels going on for a while with girls like how to get out of danger if somebody comes up to you that you don't want to talk to?
You just like act feral.
Yeah, you just act crazy. I think about that sometimes when I'm like, okay, like if I get into a situation right now because that person's just standing over there all weird, do I act like a crazy person? Do they already know that I'm sane? Can I act insane?
Yeah, you gotta hit them with that crazy person energy because I never seen a crazy person lose a fight.
Yeah.
Never. You just gotta go in there, crackhead energy, pretend like you're a fucking dope fiend and you're fighting for more dope.
You know what I was thinking about the other day is instead of like if somebody came up to me and tried to grab me and the automatic reaction is to like scream like, ah, I think I'd like make a weird sound instead. That way that would attract attention. I think if I scream, people aren't going to go out to help me.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't.
But if I go, then people are going to be like, what's going on? Let me go out there and check it out.
Like SpongeBob. I think I'd probably just maniacally just scream at them like, ah, 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 like with that face, just like
start like rolling your eyes in the back of your head. Like,
I'd like go on the floor, pretend like I'm seizing. Cause like who the fuck wants to touch you when you're seizing? You know?
Like, oh
like,
shit.
Yeah. Just act. Next time you guys are in danger, y'all, especially you ladies out there, just act crazy. They won't want you.
They don't want a crazy lady.
I feel like if somebody was planning to kidnap me, like they were obsessed with me and stalking me, they would just see all the weird shit that I do throughout my day, and they would very quickly change their mind.
Yeah, I think they'd return me.
Yeah, they'd be like, I fucking can't keep this crazy ass bitch. She fucking makes weird noises. She just like does dance numbers randomly.
They would put me in the car and like put on the radio and I'd be like singing to the song.
I'd be like, no, what the fuck? Like, yeah, no, I think that like on the real though, if I was kidnapped, I shut down a lot when I'm scared. Or like feel intimidated and stuff, but you wouldn't be able to see it. You look at me and I just look like fucking cold as fuck. Like you're like, what the fuck? This bitch is intense. She's hardcore, but really I'm just like,
you'd be sitting there panicking, but they don't even know it. You're just like,
I'm just like, fuck,
still.
fuck. But on the outside, I'm just like so unimpressed. And yeah, that's me. I always do that in
your
bad
eyes
situations.
Just go blank like a shark. Like
it does. Like, yeah. I mean, this is like really dark, but like when I found out that my uncle like passed away and got in an accident, they told me, and I was just like, okay, And I didn't have like any reaction or anything. I kind of just like shut down and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go take a walk, walked away. And, was
me on the other hand, also kind of dark. But when I found out my granny had passed away, we knew that she was gonna be passing soon. So I knew it was coming. But when I got that phone call, I like screamed. So
like, how was it?
Practically, dude. I was just, what?
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you mean what? You knew this was gonna happen. And it was like a good thing, but at the same time, that's how I reacted. So I can only imagine if I was kidnapped or something.
You're like, oh my God. Oh my God. They're like, shut the fuck up.
Just continue. Oh my God.
So you're that person like in the movies that something's going down and you're just like screaming uncontrollably.
I would imagine so. Like Nick and I joke actually about how if something was happening, like the end of the world, and he was trying to protect me from the zombies and whatnot.
Like, oh my God, babe, get him. Oh,
yeah, he would be so annoyed. He'd just be, come on. He'd have to like grab me and like,
you're like
pull
attracting them because you're like yelling. You just have to duck. You know what? We were just talking about this the other day, how if the zombie apocalypse happened, what would be our first move? And we started talking about like, okay, who would be smart people to link up with? And we said, since you guys are so close, we should probably link up with you guys because you guys got guns.
Yeah, we do.
But I don't know anymore with your screaming ass. Like,
well, I think it's the shock. As soon as a shock settles, I really do think I'd be able to handle situations more like analytically and more like actually, I don't know. I think I'd be a level head at that point, but I need to get it out in the beginning. Okay. Whereas I feel a lot of people want to act rational in the beginning. And so they try and get like that set and then they freak out later.
Well, I feel like most people are like that. Like you.
Like me?
Most people react emotionally before they
100%. But do they ever get out of it? Do they stay emotional? Like, do they stay I think that's probably baby in the corner? Probably
the difference. But for me, like what you were describing, like that, my entire life, that's how I am. I'm like, I don't react emotionally. I'm very level-headed, very rational. Like I'm going to make very smart decisions right from the back. But after the zombie apocalypse is over,
or as soon as you're in a safe place, I feel like you would still.
I can shove shit down for a long time.
Well, okay, you're like after the zombie apocalypse is over. So you're saying in about 20 years, then you're going to break down? I don't think so. I
give myself a year or two.
I could see that.
Like I'm safe and then I'm going to blow my fucking brains out.
Like I'd be watching you very closely.
You should. Because that's how I am. Like I survived the zombie apocalypse, but now I'm so fucking depressed.
I would be the person like that freaked out in the beginning, but now everyone else is like, what's our next move? And I'm like making soup in the kitchen somehow.
Yeah.
Oh, are you guys hungry? I made some snacks.
And I'm just there, just staring off into the distance, like not talking, like just.
And everyone's like low-key kind of annoyed at the fact that I'm not taking it serious, but at the same time, they're hungry. So they're not going to tell me anything.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. Hope there's not a zombie apocalypse. I think I would make it through, but not make it through.
Yeah. Like PTSD wise? Or?
Yeah. I think I would have hella PTSD. And I think it would be normal too.
Yeah.
But the way that I cope with stuff like that, I'm not very good at it.
Yeah.
It's like I would have to find a therapist after the zombie apocalypse.
I think.
Are they going to survive?
Therapists have to find therapists.
Yeah. Are they going to like, what the fuck? Ugh, keep doing that.
It's okay.
Yeah. It's like every job's important, right? Like I would be steady scouting for a therapist because how you see the zombie movies and stuff. And they're like, doctors, military. I'd be like, where's the therapist at? Because I'm going to be fucked up after this. I'll protect you.
We try to build
Just
like our
look.
clan of people. Okay, we need one medical person. We need a therapist. I'm like, wait, a therapist? Yes, a therapist.
It's mandatory.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like we need that. It's like, what other, like, I guess, professions that people don't think of right off the back that you would want to think of having?
Somebody that knows plants very well. Horticulturalist.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that profession actually means they know about plants or if they just know how to grow them. But either way, I think it'd be very helpful.
I think that's very smart. I was thinking stripper.
A stripper.
Motherfuckers got to be entertained, you know? Because people get all wound up and they start doing stupid. That's true. But I'm going to be depressed. Are we going to have a therapist?
Yeah, we already have the therapist.
Okay, we have
we'll
the
be fine.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
So we'll be good.
Because motherfuckers get wound up, you know? Like, you wound up. Men, like, I don't want to say especially men because that's sexist. But I already said it. Whatever. I don't fucking care. Especially men. Like, historically, I mean, you see, like, men get wound up and they do fucking stupid shit. So it's like, need a hooker.
Need a hooker.
Need a hooker.
Oof.
How you do pay the hookers post-zombie apocalypse? With food?
Yeah.
I feel like that's not enough. Like, more food?
Wait. You're
Like-
talking post. I thought it was during. I thought we were building a clan during the
Well, I mean,
apocalypse.
well, like at the point where there's still zombies, obviously. Like, you ever watch Walking Dead? But you're already like rebuilding and shit is like what I'm thinking.
Well, I feel like at that point, because I was thinking maybe like, what are their needs? Because I don't think money would be a thing at that point.
Yeah, no.
Eventually it might, but I think we're back to trade and things of that sort.
That toilet wine. They try and get fucked up.
Yeah.
Trying to get fucked up.
I don't know what we would pay people with. I think just goods. Like,
Yeah, just trade.
who knows? Maybe they just want a plant.
It's like a plant lover.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I think that's the agreement you have to
Or
come across.
seeds.
Yeah.
What if you can't grow the shit?
Seeds? Well, seeds are annoying because then you got to start from like,
And then it's like,
Square one.
depending on like what you're growing, right? It's like like not all seeds you're just going to fucking throw in the soil, water and be like, okay, we're good to go.
exactly. Well, like a raspberry bush takes, I think, 3 years to fruit. So
I'm
want
dead.
like a bush already.
I'm dead.
I want to know where can I go to get the fruit. I don't want to plant my own fruit.
I almost killed a snake plant. And those are very hard to kill. I'm like, as far as like agriculture,
Green thumb, not there.
no, I'd fucking kill everything. So I would like need to be with around somebody that knew how to do that shit.
I'm not very good at it either. I'm sorry.
I'm like trying to think of like what do you think that you could bring to a society? Like, you're being interviewed right now. Like, okay, we're thinking about letting you into our society. But if we don't like you, you're going to go back to where all the zombies are. Sorry. How are you going to convince them?
I don't know, dude. I think they would throw me out.
You think so?
I do, because I'm a pretty positive person. People don't like positive mindsets whenever it seems like all things are doomed. And I feel like I'm pretty good at keeping a positive mindset. So if I was like, oh, let me into your society, and they're like, why? I'm like, well, I can cook and I have a positive mindset.
I have a go-getter attitude.
Go-getter attitude.
Like, you answer the questions like you're interviewing for a job.
Yeah.
I work well in a team. I have X years of banking experience. Like, what the fuck does that mean to me right now?
What's the point of this?
I feel like you should probably, like, for you, I can imagine you trying to make your point on your like organizational skills, because you need somebody who keeps track of everything when you're trying to build a society. So like rationing goods and making sure this and that is done.
I think you think I'm way more organized than I really am.
I mean,
I do well in like meeting settings, or like when people tell me like keep track of this or do that, I can do it.
I never said you were an organized person. I think that when things need to get done, you're going to do whatever it takes to get those things done.
I can do that.
So because
Go-getter attitude.
Because X, Y, but you got to put it in a sense like, you know, try and convince them that I can maintain all of this and make sure, you know, we're keeping inventory and blah, blah, blah.
Do you need a supervisor?
Yeah.
I can be that for you.
I don't know what I would say. I'm just like, I mean, I'm a really good problem solver, you know, like
I feel like you'd be like, Yeah. Zombie 1, dead. Zombie 2, also dead. They're like, what zombie? Exactly.
Just convince them that I'm just like this badass like fighter. Cause like I feel like what I can bring is, like I said, I'm a really good problem solver. And I know how to figure shit out. I know how to fix shit. Like, I don't know. Like I think that
you're the handyman.
Yeah, I was like, do you need a handyman? But I don't know how to fix cars. Sorry.
It's okay. Like, I don't think cars would be, well, even whenever we're building society again, I don't think cars are going to be.
I think that was a golf ball. Yeah, probably not. I mean, if we're going by like looking at Walking Dead, you know, that's like the biggest like zombie franchise that I always think of every time people talk about the zombie apocalypse, because it seems very realistic.
You really think that you would need hookers in a zombie apocalypse? You don't think that people would just be horny enough
to just be fucking?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think so, but you don't want to be fucking getting everyone pregnant and shit. Like, a hoe knows how to handle her business. She ain't gonna get pregnant. Like, I don't want more mouths to feed. You know, fucking Sparta their fucking babies. Like, be like, sorry.
You think it would be harder or easier to find a therapist in a zombie apocalypse versus present day?
I think therapists would probably be, I want to say, easier to find post-zombie apocalypse. There's a lot of fucking frauds. A lot of therapists that I think aren't very good therapists, and that like I'm like, bitch, do you need me to be your therapist?
And you think it's going to be easier after to find one?
Yeah, because I think like all the better ones are like super smart and have like a lot more qualities about them than just being like a fucking therapist, you know? And I feel like all the average therapists that I've like had interactions with that I don't think are shit, I think they're totally gonna die.
I don't know. I don't think therapists are gonna survive.
Any of them?
I think a therapist in like a zombie apocalypse would be able to better target the issues that people are dealing with. Zombies, fucking zombies. You know, your family died by zombies. You get right to the point. We don't have to talk about your mom or your dad. You know,
I think you're fearing zombies. They would come up with like a new term for like zombie post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic
PTSD?
zombie disorder. Yeah.
Post-zombie stress disorder.
Post-zombie stress disorder.
PTSD.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think even if there were therapists who survive the zombie apocalypse, I don't think they would admit that they're therapists because they don't want to deal with everyone else's shit anymore.
That's true.
They're like, fuck it. Like, I learned as a therapist, you know, I learned during the zombie apocalypse, I actually really enjoyed growing plants. That's who I am now. So I'm not a therapist.
Like, I hate fucking listening to people's problems. I only did it because I had to.
I made good money and now money doesn't matter.
I didn't even know what the fuck I was telling them. I just made shit up.
Yeah, it's just like, and how does that make you feel?
I wasn't even really writing shit down in my notebook. I was drawing. Because you fucking bore me.
And watch this. And they draw like a little duck.
Except for Bob. You know, that motherfucker was interesting. Yes, he had schizophrenia, but I fucked with it.
Wonder what happened to Sarah. Did she kill her husband?
Oh, well.
Oh, well. If not, he probably died anyway.
Yeah, it was interesting concept.
I'd watch that show.
I mean, nobody's done it. Maybe we do some zombie skits. We save the therapist.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
And remember to please follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at InsanityFair_. Psychos, we'll see y'all next time.